Hi, my name is Kshitij Bisen. I'm a graduate and master's in business administration. Was raised up in the small town of Pilibhit. I have two elder brothers in the family. Pilibhit was a city where it was not a city; it was a small town at that time, and everybody knew everybody else. And that way, I had a very good childhood years in that city. Then after moving to Kanpur, it was obviously a huge shock, culture shock for me, because from that very small cozy existence, we were suddenly thrown into this big bad world of a big city. Comparatively, there were a lot of things going on within the family also. Since my father is a doctor, he moving to a big city meant that he spent more time at work than with the family, and it was my mother who had to take care of the kids more often. There were some beautiful experiences and there were not so beautiful experiences in school, but then that's how things were. I had no idea of who I was. It was just a question. I was always questioning myself why I'm like this, or why am I different from other boys in the classroom or in my friend circle. And this realization also came with a lot of guilt and shame when you were made aware of the fact that, okay, boys are only supposed to like girls and girls are only supposed to like boys. And when you are young, you don't know anything better, so you just question, but you do not have anybody who can answer those questions. In school, there would be times when certain of my mannerisms were a kind of a giveaway. I tried consciously not to, while sitting, not to do this, because I would probably unconsciously emulate the girls who would, fold their skirts underneath when sitting. So the boys obviously noticed that in the class, and one of them had even pointed it out to me. And I started wondering, if these small little things are giving me away. I had to change some of my personality to suit what the society expects of me. And a couple of times some boys would also come up to me and call me a chakke, which was unpleasant, to say the least. And when I would come home, and I had nobody to discuss all these things with. I could not even talk about this to any of my family members, except probably my mom. I would tell her, the kind of things that happened to me in school and all, and she would say, just brush it aside, beta. You just be yourself. My mother is one person in my family who I was very, very close to. It was also because of the fact that I didn't have an ideal father to begin with. It wasn't a very happy family scenario. I wouldn't want to get into the details of it, but it was just that it was a very dark place for me. So it was my mother who kept everything together, and she said, as a child you should learn everything, and that included me learning how to cross stitch, or picking up crafts that are considered very feminine or effeminate, or stuff that is the stuff the society considers as not worthy of boys. While my mother was there, I managed to come out of a lot of depressing times, and she would always support me. Later on, because of the situation in the family, my mother developed hypertension, and she had chronic renal failure. And by the time I had grown up, and when we learned that she is not well, and her kidneys are failing. It was again, the whole family was worried. And at that time I was contemplating talking about my sexuality to my mother, but since everything was happening so fast, and given my mother's health condition, I thought I'd postpone it till the time she gets better, but that didn't happen. Mom passed away and I never got a chance to tell her about this. That was a very emotional time for me. I can't exactly remember when it would have been. I was very, very young, and I remember having those feelings towards other boys in the class, or when we were friends, and I think it goes as far back as I have, I have cognitive memories of my childhood. Initially, when I used to have these feelings, probably people around us would dismiss it as child's play, or they wouldn't concern themselves about these kind of things. I would sometimes I'd probably say, I want to get married to this boy, or मैं उससे शादी करूँगा, and so people would just laugh it off. It was much later, like my pre-teen years or early teenagers, when I started feeling the difference, or when I had more understanding of how or what the society expects of boys and girls, that the gender binary, the concept of gender binary was introduced into our lives, things started getting difficult for me. I couldn't come out to my mother, and after, when she died, that put back my coming out. The plan I had to come out, for coming out to my parents, I had to put it back for 3-4 years at least. Initially, I tried to do it. I wrote a letter to my father and asked my brother to deliver it to him, but my brother didn't do that. He said it's not the right time. Then later on, I was working in Bombay, and that was when I met somebody. We were in a relationship, and I had a group of friends who were very supportive of me. They are also from the community, and it was a good thing that I landed in Bombay with a set of friends like that. That encouraged me to come out to the rest of my family. So my father was visiting. It was probably 2005 or 6, and that's when I came out to him. The purpose of his visit was he had a rishta, a match for me in his mind. So he had come with photographs of some girls, and he wanted me to meet that family. But I had made up my mind. The conversation happened, and I sat him down and told him कि आप बैठो, 2-3 आधा घंटा 1 घंटा आराम से बैठो और बहुत कुछ चीज़ें बताना है. So I started, and my monologue ended after I told him कि ऐसा ऐसा है, I'm homosexual and सारी life जाना है. My father said, तुम कैसे हो सकते हो? I told him, it could be anybody, and you are a doctor. You would have come across cases of homosexuals in your life. How is it possible that you haven't? So then he said, हाँ, you are right, I have, but this is a psychological, ये तो तुम्हें psychiatrist को दिखाना पड़ेगा. I told him why. Then I gave him the arguments against, why homosexuality is not a mental illness, or any illness for that matter. So that conversation went on for a few minutes, and then he got emotional, and he said, I have not been a good parent. So I had to basically reassure him that it wasn't his fault, or I'm not a mental patient या पागल खाने में मेरे को भर्ती कराने का ज़रूरत नहीं है. I came out to my brothers one by one, actual problem I faced was when I came out to my eldest brother. He had moved to a different country. He's living in Switzerland. So I emailed him, and I told him everything that I had to say in that email. His response was, "How can you?" He was far more militaristic in his response than even my father, which completely threw me off guard. I hadn't expected that kind of a response. He said things like, "ये तो बहुत ही गलत है और ये तो तुम ऐसा कैसे कर सकते हो? तुम शायद वेट कर रहे थे कि मम्मी चली जाएं और तुम फिर ये सब करो," which hurt me a lot. What I expect from the society is to be more accepting and embracing of people who are different than them. And if you cannot understand what a person is, just let him be, and do not wince at the fact that your own child might turn out to be gay. Just support that child. We homosexuals go through a lot of trauma growing up, coming to terms with the fact that we have been different, or there is this dividing line between us and the straight community. So if parents know that early on and stop bullying or expecting their children to change, and instead focus on how to get the best out of their children, I think that would be the best thing a society can do. So if you look at the history of India, the society has been far freer than about sex and sexuality than what it is now. So it's not a legacy that is very ancient. 377 is something that the British came up with, and they have done away with it. So we should also think and go back to our text and realize that sexuality was never this kind of a taboo that we make it out to be today. And yeah, I'm gay and I'm quite proud of it.